Alien signals summoned human wrath. Missiles became the reply. The first sign came quietly, almost like a whisper in the empty space beyond Earth. Jack Carter sat alone in the monitoring room, staring at the glowing screens filled with strange patterns of light. He had been a data analyst for the Deep Space Observation Program for over 5 years, but he had never seen anything like this. The signal was different. It was not random. It had structure. It was directed, deliberate, and somehow threatening. "Lisa," he called softly, glancing at the small office across the hall. Lisa Morgan, the chief linguist of the station, hurried over, her face pale but focused. "Look at this. Tell me what you think." Her fingers hovered over the keyboard as she traced the patterns in the signal. "It's not human," she said after a long moment. "And it's not like any alien communication we've seen before. Whoever sent this, they know we exist. But it's not friendly. They want us to know something, and I don't think it's a warning in the way we hope. But we need to understand it first. If we respond the wrong way," he trailed off, feeling the weight of responsibility pressing on him like gravity. Lisa tapped a few keys and brought up the decoded portions of the signal. "It's a demand," she said quietly. "They want us to surrender. They want Earth to stop existing unless we obey. They want us to give up our planet." This was a fight for survival against a species from beyond the stars. Within hours, the signal had spread to Earth's main defense networks. Admiral Ethan Cole and Commander Nathan Brooks sat in the war room of the Earth Defense Headquarters, a massive building filled with blinking consoles and tense faces. Maps of the solar system glowed under bright lights, and data streamed in from satellites and space stations around the planet. Ethan leaned back in his chair, rubbing his eyes. "They know where we are," he said quietly. "They know our position, our capabilities, everything, and they are not here to negotiate. Do you really think they would send a signal like that if they didn't intend to attack?" News outlets reported on strange readings from deep space, but few people understood the true danger. Scientists like Ryan Parker and Claire Benson worked around the clock to analyze the signal, while military leaders prepared fleets that had never been deployed beyond the moon. At first, the aliens made small movements near the edge of the solar system, just enough to be seen by Earth satellites. People panicked. Cities prepared for evacuations, but the panic was tempered by the calm determination of humanity's leaders. They did not scream or cry. They worked. They planned. Meanwhile, in the secret training bases on the dark side of the moon, crews trained for a war that no one could predict. Captain Daniel Ross watched as young pilots practiced maneuvers that might never be used, yet every one of them carried the weight of the entire planet on their shoulders. "Remember," he said to his team, "the aliens believe we are afraid. They believe we will hesitate. They are wronged. We will meet this threat with the courage, skill, and determination that have always defined us." Everyone understood without being told that the safety of the planet depended not on luck, but on action. Jack and Lisa worked tirelessly in the monitoring station, decoding every fragment of the signal. They discovered strange patterns, coordinates, energy signatures, and warnings written in a code designed to intimidate. Every piece of data confirmed one truth: the Zorath did not see humans as equals, they saw them as prey. "This is worse than I imagined," Jack said one evening, rubbing his temples. "They know our defenses, they know our fleets, and they are not afraid to destroy us. We are not weak. They misjudge us, and that will be their mistake." Their commanders believed victory was certain, for no species they had met had ever fought back with the kind of strategy and ruthlessness they assumed only they could possess. Back on Earth, humans did not know the scale of the Zorath fleet. They did not need to. What mattered was preparation, unity, and resolve. Engineers like Ryan and Claire designed missile systems capable of reaching beyond lunar orbit. Pilots practiced with simulators that mirrored the alien technology. Soldiers trained to strike precisely, to protect, and to survive. Jack watched as Lisa decoded a particularly chilling portion of the signal. "They call us insignificant," she whispered. "They say that Earth will fall in less than one standard galactic cycle." The Zorath still underestimated humanity, believing that fear would paralyze them, but humans were not frozen. They were awake, alert, and ready. Even as the alien signal echoed across communications networks, there was no panic on Earth. Instead, there was determination. Families said quiet prayers, but they did not flee. Soldiers trained, but they did not despair. Scientists worked, but they did not give up. Humanity understood that survival was not guaranteed, but it was possible, and they would fight for it. Jack and Lisa stayed at the monitoring station, watching the signal pulse through space like a heartbeat. "They think this is a game," Jack said. "They think they control everything." "Let them think that," she said. "They will find out soon enough how wrong they are." An invitation to show the galaxy that humans were not to be underestimated, that when cornered, humanity's strength was limitless. And as Earth's fleets moved into position, as missiles were readied, and as crews trained under the light of distant stars, one thing became clear. The signal had done exactly what it was meant to do. It had awakened humanity's wrath. Jack leaned back in his chair, exhausted but resolute. "This is only the beginning," he said. "They have no idea what is coming." And soon humanity's answer would follow, not in words but in action. The days after the alien signal were filled with preparation and tension. Humanity had never faced a threat like this, but no one panicked. Leaders, scientists, and soldiers worked together with a single goal: survival. Every step they took, every decision was made carefully because one mistake could mean the end. Captain Daniel Ross stood on the deck of the new human battleship Horizon. The ship was massive, more advanced than any human ship ever built, but he knew that size alone would not win a war against the Zorath. "All stations report in," he called. His voice echoed across the command room. "Engineering is ready," said Lieutenant Kevin Morris. "Weapon systems are online. Remember, the Zorath think we are weak. We are going to prove them wrong without reckless moves. Precision, patience, and courage. That is how humans fight. We will give them neither. Let them underestimate us. Let them believe we are cornered. That will be their downfall." Each missile carried enough power to destroy multiple enemy ships in one strike. The work was exhausting, but everyone understood its importance. Every calculation, every test, could save millions of lives. Jack Carter and Lisa Morgan continued decoding the alien signal. They discovered strange alien symbols that indicated a formation pattern for the Zorath fleet. The aliens were organized, confident, and aggressive. Jack frowned at the screen. "They are moving in waves," he said. "This is not just an attack, it is a hunt. They want to crush us completely. They think strategy is only theirs to control, but we will show them differently." Captain Daniel Ross watched a training exercise on the horizon. Drones simulating alien ships moved at impossible speeds, but his pilots adapted. "Good," he said. "They are learning. Every failure here is a lesson we take into battle. Every success gives us an edge. Remember, the aliens have never faced humans who fight with both heart and mind." They did not see the humans preparing silently, with patience and determination. On the horizon, radar picked up distant movements near the edge of the asteroid belt. Lieutenant Maria Evans reported the readings to Daniel Ross. "Unknown fleet detected," she said. "Size comparable to a Zorath scout squadron. I want full data before we make our move." Analysts had tracked small alien probe ships approaching Mars and the asteroid belt. Their speed was terrifying, and their weapons could destroy human outposts in minutes. But humans were ready. Missile batteries across the solar system were fully operational. Defense grids hummed with energy, waiting for the right moment. Ryan Parker examined a display showing the alien probe's paths. "They are testing us," he said. "They want to see our reaction time. They are probing weaknesses, but they do not know how quickly humans can adapt. Sensors on full alert. Keep visual scans active. They will not expect a human ship hiding in plain sight," he said. Hours passed in tense silence. Then the alien scouts appeared on the radar. Sleek, fast, and deadly, they moved with precision and confidence. The Zorath believed humans would panic, but the Horizon remained calm, its crew focused. Daniel gave the order: "Launch one missile. Test their reaction. Stay focused. This is just the beginning." On Earth, President Laura Simmons received reports from the Horizon. She allowed herself a small smile. "Humanity will not be bowed," she said quietly. "We will not be defeated before the fight even begins. But they are not perfect. Humans can exploit small mistakes. They underestimate our ability to learn fast." Each strike was precise, each calculation perfect. Humans did not waste energy or ammunition. They did not act out of fear. Every response was deliberate, measured, and deadly. The Zorath commanders began to realize their mistake. Their fleet had moved confidently toward Earth, assuming humans would panic, assume defeat, or surrender. But humans were not afraid. Humans did not flee. Humans struck back with intelligence and skill that the aliens had never seen. Captain Daniel Ross watched the horizon's displays carefully. "Prepare full salvo," he ordered. "Once we strike their main fleet, there will be no turning back. Every ship, every missile must hit its target. We do not waste shots. We do not waste lives." "Sir, if we strike their main fleet, they will retaliate with full force. We could lose ships. And when they threaten humanity, they will face our wrath." Confusion spread among their commanders. "Why are they attacking?" one officer demanded. "They should have surrendered. We are the superior species." Alien formations began to falter. The confidence of the Zorath was shaken, but they did not yet understand the full scale of humanity's response. Back on the horizon, Daniel Ross gave the final order for the strike. "Now, fire everything we have prepared. Show them that humans do not bow to threats." Alien ships exploded in bursts of fire, and the Zorath fleet began to retreat, regrouping far from the reach of human weapons. The first battle was over, and humanity had won. In the command room of the horizon, the crew allowed themselves a moment of relief. "We did it," Kevin Morris said, voice shaking with excitement. Daniel shook his head slowly. "Yes, but this is only the beginning. The Zorath will return, and they will come stronger. We must be ready, always ready." Jack Carter looked at the decoded signal one last time for the day. "They summoned our wrath," he said softly, "and we have replied, but they have no idea what comes next." They had underestimated humanity. They had assumed fear, hesitation, and weakness. But humans were not afraid. Humans were united, smart, and relentless. And that realization would echo through the galaxy. The victory over the Zorath scouts had lifted humanity's spirits, but Captain Daniel Ross knew it was only the beginning. The main fleet of the Zorath was still out there, a massive armada that could wipe out entire planets if left unchecked. The horizon and other human ships moved in silent formation, staying close to the shadows of asteroids and moons, preparing for what would be the real test of their skill and courage. Daniel walked through the command room, checking on every station. "Status report," he called. Lieutenant Maria Evans looked up from her console. "All ships in position, shields are at full strength, weapons are ready, communications are secure." "They think they have us cornered. They think they are unstoppable. Let's make them realize they are wrong. We will continue to fight, and we will do so as one people." On the horizon, Daniel gathered his officers. "This is it," he said. "The Zorath main fleet is near. They believe they can intimidate us. They believe they can overwhelm us with numbers and firepower, but humans are not like any other species they have faced. We fight smart, precise, and without fear. That is our advantage. Every strike we make must count. Every move must be deliberate." "Understood." "Lieutenant Evans," Daniel said, pointing at the display, "calculate their weak points. Every formation has one. Find it, and we exploit it. Prepare to engage on my mark. Do not fire until then. Precision is more important than speed. We strike hard, we strike once, and we force them to retreat." Jack Carter and Lisa Morgan monitored the alien signals from Earth. "They are communicating too slowly," Lisa noted. "Their messages are all about control and intimidation. They have no idea humans have learned from the scouts. They do not realize we have studied their tactics, predicted their movements, and prepared to counter them. They believe they are hunting, but they are about to be hunted. 3 ships destroyed, 2 more disabled. They are trying to regroup." On Earth, the news came through secure channels. Analysts watched the battle unfold in real time, unable to hide their astonishment. Humanity was not only surviving, it was dominating. The missiles, the strategies, the teamwork, everything was perfect. In the Horizon's command room, Daniel and his officers worked with precision. "Focus on their command ships," he said. "If we disable their leaders, the rest of the fleet will falter." Communication lines between the Zorath ships broke. Confusion spread through their ranks, and their perfect formation began to collapse. Lieutenant Kevin Morris leaned forward, eyes wide. "They are retreating, sir. The main fleet is pulling back." "Humanity will not be stopped." Back on Earth, President Simmons received updates from Daniel and the fleet. "They underestimate us," she said quietly. "But they will learn. Humanity does not surrender. Humanity fights. We can exploit that." Humanity's coordination was unmatched, even against a superior alien force. On the horizon, Daniel watched as alien ships tried to escape through a nearby asteroid field. "Do not let them regroup," he ordered. "Cut off their path. Fire at everything that moves." The aliens had expected humans to panic, to retreat, to surrender. Instead, they faced determination, skill, and precision unlike anything they had encountered before. Jack Carter and Lisa Morgan monitored the alien fleet's responses. "They are starting to understand," Jack said. "They thought they could intimidate us. Now they realize humans are dangerous. And this is just the beginning. We are only showing them what humans can do when they are forced to defend themselves." Humanity's precision and strategy had turned the tide. Captain Daniel Ross allowed himself a brief moment of satisfaction. "This is what it means to fight as humans," he said quietly. "We are strong, we are smart, and we never give up. They will learn to fear that." The Zorath would return, likely with more ships and more aggression. But humanity had proven something important. They were not weak. They were not prey. They were survivors, fighters, and strategists capable of facing threats from across the stars. On Earth, the world celebrated, but with measured pride. Humanity had won a critical engagement, but leaders knew that future battles would be harder. Still, the knowledge that humans could fight and win against an alien armada changed the planet's confidence. Captain Daniel Ross looked out at the stars from the Horizon's observation deck. The battle had been won, but the war had just begun. "We showed them our strength today," he said softly. "But we must be ready for the next wave. The Zorath will not forget this lesson, and neither will we. We will fight and we will survive, always. And the galaxy will take note." As the Horizon led the fleet home, victorious but alert, one truth was clear. Humanity would never be underestimated again. And the galaxy, for all its vastness and danger, had just begun to understand what humans could do when provoked, cornered, and united. After the first major victory, humanity knew the Zorath would return. Captain Daniel Ross stood on the horizon, watching the stars beyond the solar system. Every officer on the ship was tense but ready. They had won the first battle, but the alien armada was vast, and they would not accept defeat easily. "Status report," Daniel said, his voice calm but firm. Lieutenant Maria Evans checked her console. "All systems ready. Missiles fully loaded, shields at maximum. Communications secure. Enemy fleet approaching faster than before. We fight smart, fast, and together. Humanity will not be defeated. And when they come, we will show them the full strength of humanity." Every calculation could save lives. Jack Carter and Lisa Morgan studied the alien signal. "They are reorganizing," Lisa said. "They are sending orders to fleets across the galaxy. They underestimated humans before. They will not underestimate us again. Humans are not just reacting. We are controlling the fight. This will be the largest battle humanity has ever fought. The Zorath will attack with everything they have. They believe they are unstoppable, but we will prove them wrong. Focus on their command ships, disable them first, then hit the rest of the fleet. Do not waste missiles, do not waste energy. Every strike must count. Humanity will fight smart, humanity will fight together, and humanity will win." Failure meant the destruction of Earth. Success meant survival and respect for humanity across the galaxy. As they neared the alien armada, Lieutenant Maria Evans detected the first wave of Zorath attack ships. "They are moving fast," she reported. "They are attempting to flank us from the outer side. Cut them down before they can reach the main fleet." Lieutenant Kevin Morris called out, "Command ships detected, 3 major vessels in the center of their formation. Shields strong, but they are exposed on the sides." Explosions rocked the ships and their communications began to fail. Confusion spread through the Zorath armada. Without their leaders, their fleet became disorganized and vulnerable. On Earth, Jack Carter and Lisa Morgan watched the alien signals. "They are panicking," Lisa said. "The command ships are down, their formation is collapsing." But humans do not fight with numbers alone. We fight with skill, with strategy, with heart, and that is something they cannot match. Human pilots maneuvered with skill, avoiding enemy fire while hitting targets with precision. Every strike reinforced humanity's reputation as a species not to be underestimated. In the command room, Daniel Ross allowed himself a brief moment to watch the battle unfold. He saw pilots making daring maneuvers, crews working flawlessly under pressure, and missiles striking exactly where they were needed. "This is what humanity is capable of," he said quietly. "We do not surrender, we do not give up, and we do not retreat." Missile volleys struck incoming ships before they could join the fight. Human strategy had become unstoppable. Every attack from the aliens was met with a faster, smarter response. On Earth, President Simmons received real-time updates. She allowed herself a small smile. Humanity has faced a threat from across the stars and has not bowed. The Zorath will learn today what humans are capable of. Take them down, the rest of the fleet will follow. Sir, they are retreating. They are leaving the solar system. They were wronged. Humanity had proven its strength, but the war had shown them that threats from the stars would not stop. Across the globe, celebrations were tempered by respect for the soldiers and crews who had risked everything. Humanity had won not because of luck, not because of fear, but because of skill, preparation, and unity. Every missile fired, every maneuver executed, and every calculation made had been a step toward survival. President Laura Simmons addressed the world once more. Today, humanity has faced the greatest threat it has ever known and has emerged victorious. This victory is not just for Earth, but for every human being. We have shown the galaxy that we are strong, capable, and united. Let this be a warning. Humanity will not be destroyed. Humanity will not be erased, and humanity will continue to rise. And the galaxy had seen their wrath, precise and unstoppable. Lieutenant Maria Evans joined him silently. "Do you think they will come back?" she asked. Daniel shook his head. "Perhaps, but they will never forget what we did today. Humanity has sent a clear message. If you threaten us, we respond, not with fear, but with force, strategy, and unity. That is the difference between humans and every other species in the galaxy. And from now on, we fight not just to survive, but to ensure we are never questioned again. Humans do not give up. Humans fight, and when we fight, we win." As the Horizon led the fleet home, returning to orbit around Earth, one truth was clear. Humans would not bow, humans would not surrender, and humans would never be erased. Their skill, courage, and unity had ensured survival and respect. And from that day forward, Earth was no longer a planet to fear. It was a planet to be reckoned with. Humanity had faced the wrath of the stars and responded with precision, intelligence, and force. And the galaxy had taken note.